guys, and welcome back to I Am Besties. I am Michelle Calderon.
I'm Vanessa Cazarez.
And I'm Stephanie Ramierez, and I'm sitting here with the one and only Gemma Chan. Maybe you guys have seen Crazy Rich Asians, Eternals.
Hello, it's me in the flesh, you guys.
Just kidding, but doesn't she look like her?
Yeah.
Dude, she looks just like her.
Oh,
This
God.
is our beautiful friend, Olivia.
Yes, hi, I'm Olivia.
How are you today?
I'm doing pretty good. Happy to be here.
Woohoo.
Excited.
Yes, thank you for being here with us.
We've been planning this all week, so
Yeah,
definitely.
we're just
Anticipating
so happy it's finally happening.
I'm happy all the schedules worked out.
Yes,
Miss
we've been trying to plan this
did.
for months now.
Miss Olivia is like a super famous model, so like it's just hard to get
That
her.
is a schedule.
But tell us how you
go
got
for it.
into modeling.
It's a funny story. I actually recently just got into it maybe like a year or so ago. It's just something like I always thought about doing, but I never had like the courage because, you know, like just the traditional path is so like forced onto you.
Yeah.
So once I graduated high school, like I didn't really know what I wanted to do with my life, and like my mom was always in the medical field, so I started pursuing like EMT, and I was thinking of going to school to like become a nurse.
Oh, cool.
After I graduated my EMT program and was like working in the field for a bit, like I just felt like underappreciated.
Okay.
You get paid like barely more than minimum wage. You're there for like hours on end. You just see a lot of fucked up shit.
Yeah.
So I was like, what better opportunity than now? Because I'd rather look back in 30 years and say like I tried and I failed, rather than look back and be like, damn, like I maybe could have done that. Like,
Love that. That's
you know,
awesome.
I just put myself out there, and you know, it's been working out. So I'm just trying to keep that like momentum going. And
That's
Dude,
cool.
I love that. Dope. And you're signed, right? You do Willow?
yeah, I'm signed to
Dope.
Willow Model Management.
Oh my god, is that my cousin signed
Dope.
too?
Yeah.
Now I gotta
I
check.
dated this guy that was signed onto that too. He was
Yeah.
pretty hot. He had a Corvette.
And how did you go about like even like starting that?
YouTube.
Oh, cool.
Like literally YouTube has all the information, because I didn't know anyone personally that was like going into this field, or like knew anyone that I could reach out to like get advice. So, like what better way to go than to look onto the internet, because there's a million
Right.
other people.
Yeah.
So I just started looking up like the basics that I would need, like how to take some headshots in my room, like do I need professional photos, like
Ooh, dope.
just researching a bunch of agencies, like which one is the best fit for me and like what I want to do. And then I submitted like photos that I took on my iPhone camera, like made a backdrop in my room.
So you did that all yourself, submitting it? You did that all by yourself?
Yeah, all by myself.
I love
And then I
that.
submitted my pictures to my agency, and that same night I got an email back to call the owner the next morning.
That's
Dude, I'm
so
proud of
awesome.
you. See what
Yeah.
happens when you just put your mind to it
Yeah.
and you believe in
Yeah.
yourself? Because I feel like a lot of people like they doubt themselves and
No,
don't,
for
but you
sure.
just fucking went for it. You did the research. Because honestly, with the way like internet and social media is nowadays, you can literally find anything.
Yeah.
And you did that
Yeah.
shit. Congratulations.
You know what's
congrats.
crazy that you mentioned that? I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, you don't need college because you can learn everything on YouTube. But it's really surprising that people don't. Like, people don't look, people don't think like, oh, maybe I could find this on YouTube. And I feel like YouTube is such an outlet that it's true. Maybe like you don't, everything you can learn in college, you can learn on YouTube. But people really don't look it up.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, like we have so much knowledge like at our fingertips, like just like use the resources that you have around you, and I promise
Yeah.
you'll keep getting more and more as you like go along.
Yeah.
That's
it's
awesome.
fucking
That's
sick.
super inspiring because I feel like it's, like you said, like it takes so much courage to really get over that insecurity of like, oh, maybe this isn't gonna work out.
For sure.
How long was the process to get signed on? Like after the phone call, like did it take you immediately, or how did that work? Immediately? Wow.
And you
Dude,
did some
that's
gigs
sick.
already?
Yeah, I've had a lot of paid jobs
Dope.
so far. Like I still definitely want to keep continuing to like build my name, build my
course.
brand, like just be as professional as I can, because this industry is so competitive. It's
Right.
like I need to be on my tip top, like on top of my shit.
How do you feel
Nice.
about competitiveness? Does that intimidate
I'm
you?
out here for a competition. I feel
Ooh,
like
Inspire us.
Right, that's why you
I
work harder.
fucking
It's
love
like
it.
if no one was pushing me, or if I didn't feel like threatened, but not in like a bad way where it's like I feel like facetious or jealous towards these girls. It's like, you know what, I look at them and I take inspiration. It's like, okay, like, I can do that. Like,
Exactly.
I want to be on the same level as you guys.
Exactly. I love that perspective. Like, a lot of people tend to see other women and, you know, they're doing well and they get jealous, but when you see it as like, dude, like that's dope, you can do it,
Yeah.
I can do it, or I can
Yeah.
learn something from you, that's like the best thing you can do to get ahead.
Yeah.
Like, because you're putting out like positive energy, so you're only gonna get that back, as opposed to if you were fucking like jealous, hating,
Right,
like that's
right,
what you would get
right.
back.
Yeah.
Exactly, dude. So fucking sick. I love that.
And I'm super into like words of affirmation, just like pretty much just speaking out whatever
Exactly.
you want to, like,
Manifesting.
yeah,
Exactly.
for sure, because it really works. Like, you know, like you were saying about taking courage to just like go against the grain. Like if you just tell yourself every day, like you are that bitch.
Exactly.
You can't do that. If anybody else in this world can do it, why can't you?
Exactly.
Oh my God, you are inspiring the hell. I can inspire right now so much.
Literally, dude.
Getting inspired.
And even like failing isn't even bad. Like that's like redirection, you know, like because as long as you're trying and you're putting like your all and you're believing in yourself and you might not achieve what you have wanted, like those like failures, quote unquote, like they're literally like redirections because when you do everything with love and with positivity, like you're always gonna end up where you need to be at the end of the day.
Definitely.
So that's fucking dope.
Exactly. You're always gonna hear like a million no's before you hear a yes. Don't let those no's like dictate how you feel about yourself and like go along the lines of like your self-worth, because it's like it's normal. Rejection is so normal, and it's like if you don't have rejection, that's so unhealthy, and you're gonna turn into like a Kanye or something.
I'm fucking dead.
Yay. We are now interrupting this brief programming to bring you our sponsors. Can I get a round of applause, everyone? Yes. Today I am excited to announce a Manscaped launch, their ultra premium collection. Believe it or not, it's not for your not so private parts. I'm talking about a leveled up hygiene routine with your favorite manly scent. This is an all-in-one skin and hair kit for the everyday man and covers you from head to toe. Literally. You know that men love them 3-in-1s. Manscaped is trusted below the waist. Now trust them with the rest of your beautiful manly bodies. Join the 4 million men around the world who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off plus free shipping with the code BESTIES. Woo-hoo. Yes, I love it.
Every time I go with my sneaky link, like 5 out of 10 times, 10 out of 10 times, somebody stops and goes, "You smell good. What is that?" Manscaped signature scent.
Yes.
That's right. That's my sneaky link. No, man. We all know how essential the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 is, though. For the precise trim, their advanced skin-safe technology reduces cuts to your most delicate areas.
But now you can enhance your perfect grooming routine with their ultra premium collection. This package includes Manscaped Premium Deodorant, not for your balls, but for your stanky armpits. This deodorant dries clear, is aluminum-free, and smells like their signature scent, period. Hydrating body moisturizer. Have tattoos or issues with dry skin? It's designed to keep skin feeling clean, smooth, and smelling fresh. Body wash to lather you up with their infused aloe vera and sea salt shower gel. 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner to clean your scalp with an easy one step. Plus a free gift, a 3-pack of lip balm that's made up with ingredients such as vitamin E, peppermint, and eucalyptus oil to keep those chappers feeling moist, period.
Come on, guys. That's 4 products plus a gift inside the ultra premium collection. Score! All of these products are cruelty-free, paraben-free, vegan-friendly, and dye-free. The best ingredients with zero compromise. Come on, what more can you ask for?
Really?
I'm going to recommend you guys how to use these products. I'm going to give you the order. Ready? First of all, you hop in the shower, scrub-a-dib-dib that body with the Manscaped body wash. Number 2, lather your hair up with a 2-in-1 shampoo / conditioner to keep your noggin toggin. 3, dry off and spray the hydrating body moisture to reinvigorate your dry skin. Come on, sometimes you be crusty and you know it.
You don't want that.
4, put on Manscaped deodorant. Come on, that's obvious, baby.
Yeah.
Lastly, pop that Manscaped lip balm. No one is out here kissing chapped ass lips.
Hey, but getting dressed is optional, eh? Okay? Wear one great scent all day long. Get that ultra premium collection hot off the shelves, baby. You already know.
Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code BESTIES at manscaped.com. That's 20% off plus free shipping with the code BESTIES at manscaped.com. The power of attraction is now in a bottle thanks to Manscaped.
Yes! Woo-hoo! And we now return to our regular programming.
Yep. Talking about Kanye and Miss Thing, you have something?
Yeah,
some
fuck
thoughts?
you, dude. I can't stand this man. I cannot stand this man, dude. Like, okay, I understand, whatever, he's a genius, blah, blah, whatever. Being a genius does not mean you get to be a piece of shit. Like, bro, he's really out here stalking, harassing, like his children's mother, not even like, oh, some bitch. Like, this is literally like your children's mother, and literally everything you're putting out, your kids are gonna grow up and they're gonna see it. Or even like his like North, I'm sure she's older. I don't know how fucking old she is.
I mean, she's able to be on TikTok. I'm sure she has to.
Right, like,
she's supervised too. That's why I'm like, what the heck?
That's what I'm saying. Like, she's at an age where, like, I'm pretty sure she understands that, one, her dad needs help, and two, the toll it's taking on his mom. Like, I feel like a lot of people see it as like, oh, Kim Kardashian's a hoe, but it's like, yeah, but Kanye's a stalker.
Yeah.
And no one says anything, and no one cares.
And she's not even a hoe, so that doesn't. It's not even a valid argument.
Exactly. And it just blows my mind how people are like, oh yeah, but he's a genius and he puts good music. Dude, and I'm like, okay, but he's literally verbally abusing someone, and we're all just like, ha ha ha.
And a lot of people, like, you know, the whole mental health thing, like, I get it, he does need like some serious mental health, but I feel like that needs to stop being used as an excuse.
Definitely.
It's like, you're at this point just like enabling that shit, because dude, he has the resources. I'm pretty sure he has people in his ear telling him like, dude, you need to get some fucking help. Like, I know someone has told him, and at this point he's fucking choosing to just act a fool on social media. But you know what I thought about? I was like, dude, because, you know, you never know what these big celebrities are, what really they're trying to get at, you know, because it very well could be that he's just really spazzing out on social media. But what if it's just like publicity for his new documentary that's released on Netflix, you know? Like, he's trying to get like just a lot of attention, publicity, so that more people can watch his documentary. Because I'm not gonna lie, me personally, I have no interest in Kanye West whatsoever, ever. And when I saw the documentary come up, because of everything that's been going on, it kind of made me be like, like, let me watch it. Like, this dude is like literally acting a fool these past couple weeks. Like, let me try to understand why. And then I watched like the first couple minutes of his episode, and I was like, you know what? I'm actually not interested. Like, I don't give a fuck. So I just took it off. But you know, the fact that, because everything that's been going on is what propelled me to even click on the documentary in the first place. I was like, I wouldn't doubt it.
I don't doubt it's a publicity stunt. I just hate it because, like,
I think it's a little bit of both.
Of course.
I feel like if a regular person was doing that, you know what I mean? Like, what if your fucking ex-boyfriend, your toxic ass ex-boyfriend bought a house right in front of you and was literally like watching your shit, threatening your boyfriend? Like, that's so unhealthy. And I don't know who this person was, I just heard it, but he was like, if this was my daughter, obviously, you know, Kim doesn't have a dad, but like, if he said, like, if this was my daughter, like, I would do something about it. Like, I just feel like it puts out the wrong image, especially for men that already think they could just do whatever they want and like treat women however they want and say this and this and that about a woman trying to move on and be better. It puts the wrong image. And it just, I don't know, I feel like it gives bad traits to men that really shouldn't even exist. Like, you shouldn't be, like, your woman doesn't want to be with you anymore. She's okay with co-parenting. And you're like, fuck no, be with me, or I'm going to fucking kill myself and kill your boyfriend. Like, what?
It just shows, like, how fragile his ego is. And, like, people keep trying to excuse his behavior because it's gay, he's the GOAT. And it's like, no, he's, like, a narcissist who's spazzing online, and you guys are confusing his confidence. It's not confidence that he has, it's arrogance that he has.
Yes. And a lot of people use like, oh, well, it's because when his mom died. Like, buddy, I've had a lot of friends that their mom died and they did not
like spaz out
do all this shit. Like, go to therapy, man. Get your help. Leave Kim alone.
You know how I feel. Like
that's exactly how I feel. Because, I mean, I don't know, like, you're all beautiful women. Like, have you guys ever had, like, stalkers like that are, like, fucking weirdos thinking they can overstep and just, you know, be weirdos, right?
All the fucking time, dude. At my jobs, for sure, since I started doing social media, I've had people find out where I work, either deliver flowers to me when I'm not working, and even when I was in a relationship, I had people send me flowers at work. One time, a guy went to Starbucks and hand-delivered a gift, and it was fucking weird. He did this for, like, a week. And it started to get scary because obviously, like, they'll leave notes on your car. They'll know. So after, like, when I saw my social media growing even more, I got more, like, scared that I stopped posting where I work, what times I work. Obviously, the number one question is, what Starbucks do you work at? When and how do you work at? And I'm like, bitch, I don't know. Somewhere around the world. You're not going to know anymore. Because after that scare, I was just like, I'm not doing this.
Yeah, it's so
over again.
scary. And I feel like guys take it as like, I'm just being romantic.
Yeah, like, oh, I brought you flowers. Okay, I never fucking asked for
Yeah.
them. Like, I appreciate
Yeah.
the gesture, but then again, it's like, I don't know who you are.
I think there's like a limit of like, or like a boundary where it's like, okay, you're
They
a fucking
overstep.
stalker
Yeah.
or
They
you're being
overstep.
like
Yeah.
romantic or whatever.
And going into what you were saying about like social media, how that kind of put like an extra scare on you about posting where you are and that stuff. I feel like when you build yourself up on social media and you allow people to have access to you, just in a general sense, people feel entitled to like,
Super.
yeah, people feel entitled to you and they think that they like personally know you just off the basis of what they see online and what
Yeah.
they see in front of the camera. It's
Yep.
like,
Yep.
you're not entitled to like come up to me, to touch me, to write on my
Yeah.
car,
Right.
to follow me or anything like that. There's like
Yeah.
a very fine line.
Yeah, definitely.
It's so scary. I don't know if you guys, oh my God, I'm sorry. I just lost my train of thought. Never mind. Forget it. Anybody, somebody else?
Yeah, has that happened to you, or have you had a stalker or anything?
I've had
uncomfortable?
some instances like in my life where, you know, people definitely give me very much like
The
white
ick.
van vibes for sure.
White
I've
van
had
vibes.
people like write on my car, like follow me around, like catcall, just like just girly things,
no.
and it's just sad that we have to like go through that, and that's so
Yeah.
like normal with us. And
Yeah.
it's just like
Yeah.
Tell me what, like, you have to, like, I guess, especially now with, like, platforms, I don't know, you guys as well. To me, as soon as I step out of my car, or if I see something, like, bad happening or something, like, a bad energy, I just automatically think of a game plan in my head. Like,
Yeah.
that's so fucking sad.
Yeah.
Like, why do I have to think, like, why can't I just walk,
Right.
like, at, I'm just like 2 a.m. or, like, walk around at night?
really.
You have to be alert of your surroundings because
Miss
you never
Girl.
know who's watching.
Look at my keychain.
Oh, fuck! She
yeah.
brought the key.
My pepper spray.
Yeah.
This is a little alarm. This thing to like break windows or bang somebody on the head with. Like I literally am a paranoid person.
I
like
have taser and a pepper spray in my
No,
bag.
me
at all
too.
times.
like
I don't have that.
you need to.
Oh, no, I'm going to buy you one.
You definitely
No,
need
no,
to.
no, no.
I have
You need
a
to have
friend
something.
and she has a son too, and I think I don't remember what she said she was, but she said she felt like she saw someone like literally watching her, and she got panicked. But she panicked obviously because of her son.
son.
She's like, oh my, like obviously to her it's like,
Like,
okay,
fuck
me.
what happens to me, but my baby.
Yeah, literally, and I told her, I was like, girl, you need to get a key, like you need to get a safety keychain.
No, I'm gonna. Honestly, by the grace of God, I feel like I've just been protected until today because you hear so many stories. Like, I
Scary
think
shit.
back on fucking my high school days, dude. I would sneak out, be walking around the block at 2, 3 in the morning with my homegirls, like getting high, like just doing a bunch of dumb shit.
Not a
Yeah.
care in the
Going-
world, like
No.
not even
Literally
thinking anything.
going to random ass people's house that we just met.
Yeah.
Like, all this
Random
dumb
dudes.
shit.
Random
And I'm
as
like, I think back all the time and I'm like, now I get why my mom would spaz out the way she did. Like
Upset.
now even being a mother now
Right.
that I can relate and like
Totally
think about my
different
son
perspective.
like just being lost or somebody hurting him, I'm just like, fuck. Like I've apologized to my mom 1,000 times already.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, I'm so sorry I gave you such a hard time
Yeah.
growing up because damn, I really did put myself in so many situations where I really put my life in danger.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is I never thought of it like that.
Yeah.
It never
Never.
felt like that. Like never. I actually had this one instance, probably the only bad experience I had in my younger days. I went out with my best friend and we hung out with some friends that were her friends, but they weren't that like they weren't really friends. It was just like more acquaintances. We pulled up to one of the guys' house and it was like a bunch of people. So we were like, okay, you know, it's like a kickback. It didn't give like a weird vibe or anything. But, you know, as the night progressed, we drank and we got drunk. And then I got drunk. I got super drunk. And one of the guys that was there, he was like, I don't know what the heck. I was going to the bathroom to look for my best friend and she was in the bathroom. And then the guy, like the room right across was open and it was one of the guys that I had been chatting with. He's been chatting with everyone. He's like, oh, like, hi, like talk, like starting a conversation with me. So I felt comfortable to walk in the room and talk to him. And, you know, we're talking, he closed the door and I was, like I said, I was really drunk. So I didn't really think much of it. I was just in the conversation. And then one thing led to another and he just like grabbed me and started to try to make out with me. And I was like, dude, stop. Like, what are you doing? Like, no. And he was like, come on. He kept saying like, come on, come on. And he kept like groping me and like grabbing my head. And at that point I froze because I knew what was going on. Like I knew what was about to happen. And I was like, I was there, like I was present, but at the same time I was in my mind like thinking like, is this really happening right now? Like it just felt like an out of body experience. Like I was just like in disbelief, but I couldn't be present. Like it was weird.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, like I just started crying and yelling. I was like, that's the only thing that came out of me in that moment to like protect myself, because I knew my best friend was right across. You know? And I knew that because I kept telling him no, and he just wasn't letting me go. So I started crying and yelling, and that's what worked, because obviously there were people outside. So then some other guy rushed in there, like knocked the door open, and then I was like crying, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing? At least, you know, he was like pressing him, like, are you serious right now? Like, you know, then they started arguing, and then I was just crying. Then my best friend came, she's like, what's going on? And then like, dude, literally it was just like a whole mess, and then we left. But I was like on the drive home, like, what the fuck? Like, literally, that was the only instance, but I'm just like, damn, like, I really did many times put myself in just these situations where...
But I think it takes too, like, an experience like that to be like, I can't believe it never happened to me before.
Right.
Because I had the same thing, you know, like, I put myself in situations where I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Even now when my mom like nags at me, I literally tell her, I'm like I've been in worse situations and you didn't even know.
Yeah.
But like, I literally takes that moment to be like, damn, like this really can happen to me. And like, even like, and I feel like a lot of people are like, oh, why don't you do anything? Like how you said, like you literally freeze. There's
you do.
There's
you
like, you're like in this like shock where you're like, no, wait.
Yeah.
Right. It's so scary.
I had a weird instance at Savers one time. I was just there in the evening. I was like thrift shopping, and I was with one of my boyfriends at the time, and we're in the men's section because I'm just helping him look for pieces, and I keep noticing that this old man is like near me, but I'm not thinking anything of it because I'm in the men's section. So I'm like, okay, why am I gonna trip on this old man who's probably just looking for clothes? So I keep noticing that he ends up behind me. And I just like get a weird feeling, and I'm going to like look for my boyfriend, and I see 2 workers and a security guard come up to me. And they're like, that man has been following you and touching himself around the store. Like dick out in between the racks, like
no.
Yeah. So my like stomach just like sank, and I was like, what the fuck? Like, are you fucking serious? And I'm just like freaking out, like I don't know what to do. Like I couldn't find my boyfriend at the time. So I was like, what the fuck? And they like grab him and they're like taking him out. So I like run out and I like was yelling for my boyfriend.
Yeah.
And I meet him outside. I don't know if this should be in the video, but like we meet him outside and I like take pictures of him and I just kick him hard as fuck in the dick. And I was like, touch your fucking self now. Like I was going like so fucking psycho, and I was like telling my dad, I'm like, you have to come here and like fuck this old man up. Like he was like, Olivia, like I can't right now, like I don't, like you need to call the police, da-da-da. So like I called the cops. Worst fucking thing ever. Like, they're not even, like, trying to come help me. They're telling me to leave this man alone. And I'm like, he was just following me inside of the store where there's other women and children with his dick out in between the racks. What do you mean leave him alone? Like, come pick this motherfucker up and take him somewhere. Like, what the hell? And I remember, like, I kicked him so fucking hard in the balls. And, like, I ran to the car. My boyfriend had gave me his keys. And I remember they were arguing, like, near a gas station. And I pulled the car out of the thing. I went on the side of the curb. I opened his car door. Like my boyfriend like socked him. He hopped in the car. I fucking took off. I felt like I was like GTA or something. I was like, going to jail. Like take
going to jail.
And I guess someone who had pulled out the same time as us, he like skirted up like really crazy, like right up next to us, and he was like, hey, like someone's recording your car and like following you, like you guys need to get out of here. And I was like ducking and turning, like I literally felt like I was about to be like on the news or some shit.
Dude, and the crazy thing is like they're recording it thinking you were like the assailant when really this dude was being a whole fucking
disgusting.
Like, you know, like this fool's like a menace. And I remember he was crying, saying like, I don't want to go back to jail. I'm like, no, you should go back. You were there the first time. I was like, you sick fuck. Like no.
Fuck no.
Yeah. What?
That's
crazy.
So scary. And that's what I mean. Like, especially like the cops are just like, well, leave.
Yeah, it's like, how about you come
mean?
get him because he's probably gonna do it again.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So crazy.
I hope
Fucking
I
hating
kicked
a
some
woman.
sense into, yeah.
That's dope though that
hope
you
I kicked some
defended
sense
yourself
into
like that. That's awesome.
Because in my head I was like, no, like he's old, like I don't want to hurt him, but I was like, no,
fuck him.
that.
Fuck him.
You're a sicko. I was like, you deserve this. Like, yeah, no.
Oh, do you ever think of that? I feel like whenever I look at an old person, I'm like, oh, and then I'm like, I wonder if he's a pervert.
Yeah.
I always think of
I
that.
saw an old person today when I went to my doctor's appointment, and I was like, oh, like I wanted to help him because he looks so old. But then there's those other old people that are fucking
Right.
pervs, bro.
That's what I mean. Or I look at an old lady and I'm like, I wonder if she was a bitch. Like,
I
we're just-
know. You fucking bitch.
yeah, because you never know. Like, old people, like you feel for them because you're like, they're old. They don't really, whatever. But then you're like, what kind of person were you?
Then they
your
start
whole
talking.
life?
I'm like, okay, Karen, step
Yeah.
aside.
You're like, you know what? I took it back how I felt
Right.
about you a minute ago.
I remember I wanted to volunteer when I was like 16 or 17 at an old people home.
Yeah.
And they walked me through and I was meeting everybody and they're like, oh, just to let you know, it was like white folks. They're like, just to let you know, they're kind of racist. And I was like, oh, you will not hear from me ever again.
Right. You do not have to worry about
You do
me.
not have to worry about me. You do not have to. I did not go back. They kept calling like, hey, you're going to come volunteer today? Where?
No.
Where? And if it was
No, I'm
across the
not.
street from my house, it would have been perfect. But after she said that.
Who me?
No, maybe I'm gonna end up finding all these old people up in this bitch. Somebody said some fucked up shit.
Somebody's swing on the
I know, for real.
I'm dead as fuck.
No, yeah, I have a friend who's a nurse and like she deals with like old people and she says that they're fucking mean and I'm like,
They
yeah,
are.
yeah. She's like some of their family members just come and abandon them and I'm like, dude, that's so sad.
Yeah, that's
and she's like, no, dude, like literally like they're fucking mean, like mean old bitter people.
Dude, why the fuck am I the one to be thinking like, that's a challenge? Like, I'm gonna be like fucking nice to them and they're gonna warm up to me and then they're gonna die and leave me their inheritance.
Oh my god, I wish. Where
Right.
do you find old men like that?
Yeah,
All the women, I'll be your friend in your last days. I watched too many movies.
Dude, honestly, movies really be putting shit in my head that are never gonna happen. Like, I really think I go into a room and I'm like, something's gonna happen right now, and nothing happens. I'm like, okay, dumbass.
Me trying to like romanticize my life at the grocery store.
Stop
I'm like,
me
let us-
too.
Grab me
Looking
an
at the
apple.
oranges, right?
I'm like, let me grab some milk really quick.
Somebody's gonna come up to me and be like,
For
do you want me
real.
to cook for you?
Right. Dude, tell me why that's me at Starbucks. So this guy has been coming frequently through like the drive-through in the Starbucks. And one time my shift lead was like, do you know that dude was looking at you? And I was like, really? Like he's kind of
He's in love with me now.
yeah. He's fine, like whatever. So he keeps coming through the drive-thru. We start making conversation. This man's a firefighter, and I was like, "You look like a firefighter." and tell me why. We talked for the first time, and he tried to make like some chit chat. I didn't really know, like
Yeah.
know, like I know, I heard that he was looking at me, and like obviously, like I allowed it because I thought he was hot. So he comes back to the drive-thru. We make small talk. He tells me about. He's from Firefighter, he's in Las Vegas, here's here, and I'm like, okay, blah, 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 here's a drink, bye. Comes back last night, and I'm like, oh, I missed you, you haven't been here in a couple days. He's like, oh, yeah, you noticed? And I was like, fuck. No, I didn't fucking notice. Fuck. I'm like, oh, no, I just haven't been to work, and, haven't seen you, blah, blah, blah. It's like, yeah, well, he has a little accent to him, we were just chit-chatting, and I'm like, he chit-chats some more, and then like, okay, Michelle, like they kind of like skirt him up, but like, no, he for sure has a crush on me. I'm like, so ask for my number. You're romanticizing my life.
Right, shoot your shot.
What kind of accent?
I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's kind of like English, like I want to say British, but not really British. I don't know what type of accent, but I was
Imagine he's just pretending.
Right?
I know,
He's
like
not
a motherfucker.
I do that when I go out. Sometimes I'll put a British accent on the whole night when I go.
Right.
Like, for drinks, say less, bitch, I'm from London today. Like,
Say it,
London.
dude, talk in an accent because I'm
I
jealous
do,
of all you bitches
literally.
because I can't.
Okay, let's have a little talk.
okay.
Oh, I've been
What you wanna
practicing
talk
my
about?
accent forever. I've been practicing since I was a little girl, yeah.
A little chat, a little
No,
chat.
I literally have a video where I have like these dorky ass glasses, and I'm like, I'm going to sing opera, and I'm like, but like, no, literally, and I'm like, bitch, not me making this accent since I was like 11 years
Me
old.
too. Me and my sister. Try it.
No, I'm not.
No, she's not.
I'm sad though
We'll try it
because
after.
I feel like I wish I would have branched out to different accents. I don't even know if it's like a good British accent. I
Dude,
just
it's
do
fucking
it.
amazing.
But like now I'm like, oh my god, like French accents are so cool. Like,
yeah.
like or like what is it? What is it?
Australian?
Australian, they're
Dope.
fucking dope, and I can't do it. Like
Australian
I'm stuck on this
accent's hard.
Yeah,
it's
bro.
hard.
Can you try it?
Super
You think you
hard.
try it?
No, I
10 minutes?
would like get it confused with like a British accent.
No,
Me
me
too.
too.
I'd go back. I'd
Yeah.
go back. But tell me why I saw this like TikTok of the other day of Bella Hadid. Did you guys see
Oh
that?
my
She was
God.
imitating a French accent.
So
It was horrible?
It was. You saw
No,
that?
the thing is that there's a video where she's like talking about sneakers. She's like,
but homeboy can like
get it. And then she's at the fashion show in France, and she's like, what did she say?
I love blah blah blah. Like
She's
just
like
talking about some brand.
what did she say? Fuck. She goes.
It was funny as fuck. That was like, bruh.
Love this show, no?
Yeah.
Like that. I was like, you guys, you're not
amazing.
friendship. She's like,
Go off the queen. You're French.
You're like, period, okay. I was trying to get on the podcast. Like, yay.
Bella, we love you.
Bella, if you could ever come on the show, girl.
We weren't shit talking. We were just admiring your accent, baby. Nothing wrong with the little wee wee. Never heard nobody.
Wee wee.
Wee wee.
Bitch, is this like Italian?
Yeah.
I know. Literally. Wee wee, motherfucker.
No, have you seen it? It was like how Italian people grab chopsticks, and it's like that.
I'm dead.
Speaking of modeling, do you want to do like runway, or are you more into like?
I want to do it all for the most part. Like, I think I'm still so new into it. I'm just trying to like pick my path and like what I like to do best. But I have walked in fashion shows before.
Oh,
really?
Yeah. It's really fun.
Is it nerve-wracking?
It's really nerve-wracking.
Do you take some shots or something before?
No, sadly, no.
Why? Are you allowed to, or is that allowed? Like, can you take shots? Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh my God. No, you're right. You're right. I forgot.
Not
She's
allowed.
barely.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
That's not allowed.
But
You're right.
It's like really nerve-wracking, but like once you like actually start doing it, like you kind of forget all your nerves and you're just like so focused.
You're just like walking. Did you ever take classes to walk, or you just practice on your own?
YouTube. Like same again with the YouTube. I was just like practicing.
it.
I film myself so I'm able to see like what to work on, things like that.
I'm so glad you say that, because I walk like a literal hobo. And
No, in my personal life, I'm pigeon-toed as fuck. Like, it's bad.
That's
like,
hilarious.
no, but then I'm like, oh my God, like I'm gonna walk like that at my fucking wedding. Like that's so embarrassing.
Girl, you better practice.
So, yeah, I've been practicing.
Miss Olivia here. Will
I
hire
know,
you
right
so
now
much.
on YouTube, I was like, that's so smart. I'm gonna fucking do that. Because I'll walk, I don't know. And I try to do the, like this thingy,
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is hard.
Like, it's really hard
It's
to
hard,
walk.
and like different designers want you to walk different ways. Like some of them want you to be very stiff, some of them want you to have your hips, some of them want you to be bouncy, like fast, slow, like.
Then you know
Very
what?
demanding.
That makes so much sense, because I see a lot of videos where it's like they're talking shit about like the way someone walks, and I assumed that was because there was like a right way to do it, like one specific way.
Right.
So right now that you're saying that there's like no, they expect different kind of walks, kind of makes me feel bad. So I'm like, damn, I've talked shit about
no, but low key,
walks.
some of them be walking weird, because I look at them and then I look at the people around them, like the other models, and I'm like, you're not doing that, girl. Me can't fucking walk. I'm like, bitch, you need to get your shit together.
Have you seen any of the Kendall Jenner slander of how she walks?
No, I haven't.
No?
I was gonna ask you, do you agree with it? Fuck.
No, I haven't
Someone put
seen
the GTA walk.
They're like, yes, girl, give us nothing. Give us nothing, girl. And then they compare like poor Bella Hadid to Gigi Hadid. But what they said was with Bella Hadid, you look at her face. You're always gonna look, and then her outfit, and then with
Kendall?
Yeah, Kendall, you're gonna look at her outfit first and then her face, because she's already, I guess, like,
No.
she's a Kardashian, so.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, she's a
that's
Jenner,
what they
but-
say. That's what they say.
She's a Jenner.
What's
She's a Jenna.
close enough? What's like your favorite thing so far that you've done?
My favorite thing so far is I worked with like this bridal company, and they like I was on their blog, and it was nice to just like be in a wedding dress. Like I felt like I had my day and my moment. Like I worked with like another male model and stuff, so I was like,
She was like, I already got married.
right. But it was really cool. It was just nice to have like a whole
married. That was a good accent. So you already got married.
Dude, the thing about me is that I can't talk fluently in an accent. I can only do like certain words. But then when it comes to like having a full on blown convo, I can't. Like,
You have
I
to
butcher
practice.
it.
Honestly, I really think it takes practice.
Really?
Yeah.
I have genuinely been doing this accent. I don't even know when I got like obsessed with it. I think I was easily like
Since
9
a
years
kid.
old. Yeah.
Bro,
dope.
And I was like, I'm gonna be British. For some reason, I thought if I had if I could do the accent, I would just naturally
Kind of like just go with it. The little girl who was just like talking to bitch like the whole
dude,
time.
exactly like that.
Yeah.
And then I went to London and I was like, I don't sound like that.
Fuck! Did you try though?
Fuck no.
No,
Everybody would've
they
you.
would come for me if I tried to do like
Yeah,
a British
no.
accent over there.
Like,
They're
what
like,
the
bitch, like.
And they know because we're loud. Like just Americans, like that's how we're known. They're
We're
like, oh,
loud?
Americans are so loud.
They're not loud over
They're
there?
not loud. They're very quiet. For the French are way quieter, even so. But I'm Latina and I'm American, so I'm like extra loud. So I'd be on the train, I'd be like, "Blah, blah, blah," and everyone would be like,
This is my inside voice.
yeah.
Oh my god.
No, really, like they tell us like you guys are loud, or like people would come up to me at the bar and they'd be like, you're not from here.
Dude, and you know what else?
Ew.
I was talking to my best friend's mom, and she was saying how this guy from, I'm assuming he's British.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, somewhere over there. But he like came over here to the US to work. He's like a minister or something like that. And she works for like hospice. So it's like people are like gonna pass away and they need care. And she said that he told her that we waste too much time on pleasantries. Like, and over there where he's from, he said that they don't say hello, good morning, how's your day.
Yeah.
Like, they don't ever say that because they don't give a fuck and they know they don't. So they just literally, like, when you call someone, it's like, hey, I need this. Like, it's literally, like, just straight to the point.
Right.
Never
I
good
love
morning,
that.
never that. And I love that, too. I was like, why the fuck don't we do that here?
I was
Like,
always jealous from movies when they'd be like, oh, I can't do this anymore. And they'd be like, well, and then they just hang up.
What?
They never said what? I love that. I wish I could just hang up on
Right.
bitches. Like, I'm done
Dude,
with this
yeah.
conversation.
Yeah. And I was, when she told me, I was like, oh, shit, that's fucking crazy.
The culture shocks, honestly, are crazy. Like, there
Yeah.
are things
Like they
that...
don't tip over there. Like they
Yeah.
don't have tip culture over there. Yeah.
I
'cause
love
they,
that.
They pay them all they can.
Right. I'm like, they pay them a livable wage.
I depend on tips, motherfucker. No, just kidding.
But,
you
like,
do?
No, I don't know.
I was
They don't
gonna
even
say,
tip a
bitch, what the
shit. They
fuck?
don't tip a shit.
Honestly, what do you guys feel about tipping? I'm gonna just shoot my fucking leg. I really don't give a fuck to tip. The only reason I'll tip and the only way I'll tip is if you give me like exceptional service. Like if you literally, if I feel like you do like some bomb ass service, I'll tip. But if you barely come to my table or like you don't even ask me if I need a refill. Like if you just like come like twice, like or like bare minimum shit, bitch. Take it up with your fucking boss, bro.
Right.
They should be paying you
Right.
enough.
I'm like that part. Also, I only tip if like they're looking at me. Like if I know that they're looking at me, I'm like, fuck it, 15%.
Yeah, I'm like,
You're
fuck, I guess.
gonna like tip, and you're like, fuck. Or like if you go to like let's say like a boba shop or something, it'll say tip, and I'm like, fuck, okay, 10%,
Right.
because I feel bad.
Oh, I
feel the
can't
peer
relate.
pressure.
I'm a great tipper. But I work in the food industry, and you guys need a tip.
No, I'm saying I tip. I always tip. But
I
if
just,
they're watching,
like-
I feel I give them extra. 'cause I feel bad.
What's your point of view?
My point of view is that people are fucking rude. Like, no, for real. Like, you'd be surprised how rude people
I
are
agree.
and how much shit, like, waiters deal with.
So you feel like that affects their service? Like maybe they were starting the day good, and then maybe
yeah,
by the
because,
end
like,
of the
what
day,
if, like, someone's waiting you, and then right before you, they had a fucking asshole. And, like, now they come and they can't... No, it's
They're
not that they don't
mood-
want
no,
to. They
you're
just
right.
can't give
You're
you the service that,
You're right.
you know, they want to.
that makes sense.
And plus, like, I don't know, I was a waitress, and, like, tips just made my fucking day. And not because, like, the money, it's just more of, like, damn, like I was
did a good
nice
job.
enough that they left however much they left, even if it's
Right.
like $1, $2 or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just because, like, my parents own a business and I worked in, like, the food industry. Even when I had my truck, dude, nobody tipped, and I waited. Like, I would literally wait. It wasn't even like a normal food truck. I would take their food out. I would take them their drinks. Like, I was literally a waitress, and
Yeah.
dude, nobody tipped, and it was just annoying because I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, like, I'm going above and beyond, and you can't
Yeah.
even fucking tip me.
Yeah.
But it's more of like a courtesy thing, I guess.
makes sense.
I'm a really good tipper just because of that. Like,
Yeah.
I think everyone deserves a tip, even if you're an asshole. Even
too.
if you're an asshole, I'll leave you like $2.
No, I recently had a waiter that was an asshole and I didn't tip him. Like, I was in Arizona last weekend, and first of all, he was giving me a hard time about my ID. And I was like, babe, scan it. Like, I promise you it's going to go
hate
through.
that
It's like,
shit.
I'm just not from here, but, like, it's
Yeah.
in an ID.
Yeah.
So he was, like, giving me a hard time about it. He's like, you need to get that fixed. And I was like,
What?
it doesn't expire till
Fuck you. See, that's
9 months
different.
away. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I go and I'm like, oh, like, can I get a glass of wine? Da-da-da. So he's like, okay, no problem. He goes, and there was like cups on the table, but they were flipped upside down. So like the rim was like touching the glass. So I'm like, okay, let me get a straw, right?
Yeah.
So I asked the waiter, I'm like, hey, like, do you think I can get a straw? He was like, for your wine? And I was like, no, for my water, but try harder next time if you want to come for me. And he was like, huh? And I was trying to say it in like a jokey way, because I was like, bitch, but like joke.
Yeah.
So I was like, come harder next time if like, try harder next time if you want to come for me.
Yeah.
And he was just like, heh. And I was like, yeah, so can I get my straw, please? And, like, he didn't bring me my straw the rest of the thing. I was like, first of all, why would it matter if I wanted a straw for my wine? Like,
What's the
just
fucking
bring me
matter
my
to you?
damn straw,
Just
please. Like,
fuck, bitch.
Yeah.
what the fuck? So he didn't bring me my straw, like, the rest of the time. Never came back to, like, check up on our table. So at the end, me and all my friends were like, should we tip him? Like, no, fuck that. Like,
See, that's a special instance.
question
If
it.
you're like just rude, I'm not gonna tip you. If you're just waiting my table, if you bring me everything I need and you're not like smiling and whatever, making conversation, I'm gonna still tip because I still got my shit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? But if you, dude, honestly, like,
You know what?
maybe
You
I'm
changed
just-
my perspective. I think I'm a changed woman now. Like I
No.
think
Liar!
She's
you
still
know,
gonna click the no
I
tip
think
on the
I
show.
think you made some valid points. that
No,
I
but
never
it's
thought about.
just some people work hard, honestly.
true, it's
Some people
true.
No, you're
deserve
right.
tips. Some
I
of
feel
them.
like I haven't had
Yeah.
like a bad waiter where I'm like, I'm not gonna tip. Even if they do like the bare minimum, I still tip because obviously I work customer service and I know it's a fucking
Yes.
bitch
Yeah.
dealing with people. So I'm like, you know what? Here you go. I always tip my like Starbucks partners. I give them my
Yeah.
tip money that I have.
Yeah.
I like tipping.
I tip. I try to tip my like baristas if I go somewhere, if they have a tip jar, like if that's my change, I'll always give it to them. It's just kind of, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's
Like,
nice at the end of the day. Like,
Like,
no, for real.
you're like,
She said
super,
have, you,
super dope.
have you ever been a waitress?
Never, and I never will.
That's no, for real. Honestly, I
customer
think
service.
women should
But
work
look.
customer service because,
No, because
that's when
what-
people tip badly.
Yeah.
Look, one, I know that and maybe I know that it would piss me off to not get a tip, so I know I wouldn't even put myself in that situation. Like, if I know that
Yeah.
it's gonna irritate me to not be tipped, then I know I'm not gonna be able to deal with shitty customers. Why would I even put myself in that situation?
I honestly though, if like, I feel like every pretty bitch should be a waitress, just because tips are bomb. No, for real, for real. But I also think people should work food industry at least once, just because I don't think people believe how rude somebody can be.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, I
sure.
believe
Or
it.
how dumb.
I believe it.
Yeah,
somebody can
and
be.
I used to do some dumbass shit for tips, like
what?
Like one time, like what? No, like
Show a titty.
not like titty out. I'm like, hey, no, just kidding.
For an extra $5, I'll rub your leg.
No, like one time these dudes were getting drunk as fuck and they're like, sing a song, because we had karaoke. And I was like, okay, I'll sing a song. And I fucking sang. These motherfuckers didn't leave me shit. And one time, okay, let me give you an example where I was like, I cannot fucking do this. And I literally told them, my shift started at 11. We closed at 9. They stayed my entire shift. Their bill was like $900. There was like 15 of them. And they were drunk as fuck. Dude, they tipped me like $5.
You're lying.
You're lying.
So you get what I mean? And they came back and they're
No,
like, we
that's
want, and
out of
I was,
pocket.
I'm a pretty good waitress, honestly. I'm really nice. And literally they came back and they're like, we want you to be our waitress. And I literally told them, I was like, I'm never waiting you again.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm never waiting you, and you guys are fucking cheap. And I was like, and you guys better tip my waitress, because it was like my restaurant. So I was fucking pissed, and I told them, I was like, I'm never ever waiting on you guys again, and you guys better tip my waitress.
And what they say?
They were just like, oh, we didn't tip? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like, dumbass dudes.
Yeah.
And after that, they would tip all my waitresses, but I was fucking pissed.
Yeah.
And
Especially if it's a huge party, like, that's mandatory.
No, that's
like,
valid, bitch. What the fuck?
no,
Yeah.
but it's literally, oh my God, I don't want to say, but like.
She better cry.
No, say it.
Dude, it's because customers really be be testing you. Like,
I
dude,
can
one
ride
time,
off of that.
like, one time I served this dude and they got ostiones, and they were literally like, ¿qué es esto? And I was like,
What do you mean? ¿Qué es
What, you
esto?
ordered
Lo que
oysters,
pediste?
and they're like, count them. They made their, and I was like, there's 11. I ordered a dozen. And I was like, oh, and I literally came back with a napkin and I gave him his one oyster. Like, dude, people are so, my heart goes out to all the waitresses.
For me too.
And restaurant owners out there.
We love
Damn.
you.
May God be with you. 'Cause
That's
fucking
tough.
customers are rude.
Fucking rude asses.
That's tough.
Please tip. Please tip
And
your
tip.
waiters and your waitresses.
Even if it's $1, dude.
Yeah, even if it's $1.
Your change.
And men, give your ladies a tip tonight. Just
A little tip.
pay for
Right.
her Starbucks.
No, but you know what you
baby.
shouldn't do? You shouldn't donate.
No, I never do.
That's a
I
scam.
never do.
I never told
I
you.
never
Ever
do.
since I found out that they give it, but they write it off on their tax.
Yeah.
return or something like that.
I bet you be looking at me
And I don't feel
sideways.
bad. And they're like, "Do you want to donate?
Do you want to round up the
Yeah.
cents? Fuck
No.
No,
It's
then
just 10
they stare
cents.
at you like, and I'm like, "Yeah, bitch, I can't."
Dude,
I'm like,
one time it happened to me where this bitch looked at me hella fucking sideways. And I'm like, you know this is just like a tax write-off, right? You know this isn't really going
They
to
have a
like
quota,
the cause.
though.
And she was like, oh, really? Like, her demeanor changed. I was like, yeah, bitch, look it up. Because don't be fucking looking at me like that.
They're looking at me like that.
They have a quota. The cashiers have a quota. That's why they're so fucking insistent. Because they get in trouble. I don't give a fuck. Fuck
Another
you.
one of those
Who gives a
things,
fuck?
bitch.
They're like, do you
Damn.
want to donate to kids with cancer? Nope.
Nope. No, I don't. Sorry, God bless.
Your boss wants to, not me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuckers.
Right.
And me over here fucking taxed as fuck. Like, you know how like rich people don't get taxed?
Yeah, for real.
That's some bullshit.
That is some bullshit.
We should start donating.
What do you mean?
Yeah, because if you donate, you can write it off.
You have to donate over like a certain amount of money.
Yeah.
In order to claim
Never
that.
mind. So many
Right.
restrictions.
I know.
I hate it here.
Stupid.
Motherfuckers.
It really is.
Fuck the system, bro. I say it every podcast. I'll never get tired.
Fuck the system. Honestly, though, I have to pee.
Go pee pee.
I'm so sorry, girl.
Pause.
But you know what? I'm just thinking about right now the first time I got my period.
Was it traumatizing?
No, it wasn't. I was at the movie theater.
We're recording now.
I was at the movie theater and the movie was over, walking out the theater, and I just felt some shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, I honestly thought I peed myself a little. I don't know why, because that had never happened to me, but like, nah, I just kind of peed myself.
You're like,
And I went to the
oopsie.
bathroom and like I fucking like looked and was like, oh shit. Like, I literally just stared down for like a minute. Like,
Were you
damn.
sad? Like, was it like, do you feel it was a...
No, I was like, yeah. It was like, oh shit, you know, like finally, you know, because like my friends at the time had already gotten it.
Yeah.
My older sister already had it, so I was kind of like just waiting on mine. And then I went out and I told my aunt, because I was with my aunt, my uncle, and I was like, Thea, like I got my period, and she was like, okay, do you want to pass? And I was like, no, like it's my first time. And she was like, oh my god, how exciting, like you're a woman now, la, la, la. She went off, and then there was a Target right next door, so she was like, let me take you to Target, and we went, and she bought me like pads and the wipes and like the whole shebang, period kit. And then I just went to the bathroom, did my thing, and I walked out a changed woman.
But when you went to go tell your aunt, did you stuff your underwear with toilet paper?
Yeah, I did. I was like, bro, I didn't put some shit on.
I feel like that shit's like just, I hate doing that shit, but I'm like, I wonder if everyone
No,
did this.
I'm pretty sure.
No, yeah,
sure.
I'm pretty sure everyone has already gone through it where like they
Right.
don't have a pad or something on them. They just like, fuck, I have
You
some
have to
toilet
do what
paper.
you have to do sometimes.
Yeah. I'll wrap it around though, like,
Fucking
Oh
like
yeah, me too.
yeah, because I don't know, like just putting it doesn't feel safe
The
enough.
first time I did that, it fucking flopped off.
I did that. I was like, maybe like 5th period in high school. I like did the little thing with the toilet paper, but I didn't wrap it all the way
Yeah,
around my
yeah,
underwear.
yeah.
I just like sat on top thinking like, okay, like I have
We're
45
chill.
minutes, like I'm good.
Yeah.
I'm like walking out of the gate. Luckily, it's like end of school. I feel it like coming up, like riding up on like my pants. I'm like, oh! And then I was wearing like a crop top, so I'm like, standing up and, like trying to like stuff this shit in my thing. Like I was so embarrassed.
You
I
know
was
what?
so
No, you know what's
embarrassed.
embarrassing about periods? Like that shit defies gravity. How the fuck did you get like
literally.
to the top of my tailbone?
Literally.
Dude, that's so true. But you know what's more embarrassing? One time I went hiking. It's like up. I don't know if your families ever did that. Go to Lido Creek and do like carne asada by the river. Dude, literally, my family growing up, we would do that a lot. And at the time, my cousin was on her period. And we were like, you know, walking around and like, you know, going to the fall and like walking back to like where her whole family was. And dude, her pad fell out of her shorts. And we were just like cracking up. I'm not trying to be a bitch, but I was really cracking up at that hoe.
Dude,
Like,
that's
I really
so
did.
horrible.
No, just the cousins. Like, you know,
okay.
there was nobody around, but like, bro, we were clowning on that hoe. But then karma's never too late, bitch is always right to get you. And then I literally like maybe like a week or two later, it was summer and we were at my grandma's house and she had the sprinklers on and like we were young, so I don't know, probably like 13, you know, so or it was like very soon after I got my period. And then like so we were like running around like playing like water balloon fights and like the sprinklers run, we're just like doing like just dumb shit. And I was wearing a pad and then it happened to me. I was like running and then my pad fell out and it hit the grass and then everyone started laughing at me and I was like, bro, karma, like you always
That's so
that shit always
funny.
just fucking bites you in the ass, bro. Like
No, when I first got my period, the first thing I thought of, I like literally for like a month, I'd be like, I wonder how much pee this shit could hold. Like, if I pee, like, is it like a diaper? Like, I literally would be like, oh, what if I just piss a little? Like, I was literally like, is this like a, because my mom, like, I feel like she didn't really give me that talk. It was more of like, you need to wear these. And I'd be like, Okay. Yeah, like literally, she was excited and everything, but I don't think she really gave me the talk on like why my body was doing that, how it worked.
Me either, bitch. But I never thought, let me pee on my fucking
No,
pad.
I fucking didn't pee in it, but I would always be like,
Wonder.
yeah, I'm like, what if I just piss a little bit like over time?
Did you?
Would it hold?
Did you?
I didn't do it. I
Dude, you
never tried it.
should've.
I'll try it. I don't give a fuck.
Okay, bitch. Let's try it. Bitch, I'm gonna try it. I'm gonna try it right now.
I'm gonna try it on the Patreon.
Subscribe to that Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. You heard it here
Y'all gonna see
first.
some crazy shit. Y'all don't wanna miss out.
I got my period for the first time at Olive Garden at a family dinner, and I cried in the Olive Garden stall for 15 minutes.
What?
Before I called my mom and I told her, I was just like crying because
What?
like I was just scared. I don't know, like
You're like, what's
I
going on
knew
in my
that I was
body?
like supposed to be expecting this, but I was
Yeah.
just like, what does this mean? Like I'm scared, mom. Like, so yeah, she came and like helped me, but I was just
Were
like,
you peeing or you got stained?
no, like my stomach was hurting so bad, and I remember like I didn't want to go on this family dinner. My mom's like, just come, like you probably need to eat, like you'll be fine. We go to Olive Garden, we're waiting, we like sit down, we're there for like 15 minutes. I haven't even got my pasta yet. And I'm like, okay, my stomach hurts, like I need to go to the bathroom or something. So like I go to the bathroom, I pull down my pants, I see it, and I just start instantly just like bawling, you know, it's just like there, like what do I do?
Did they give you the talk though? They were like, oh, it's just your...
Yeah, like after, like they had given me the talk, so like I was expecting it to happen, but just like when
okay.
it happened, I was like, I'm
You're
not ready. Like
shocked,
yeah, I
yeah.
was like,
Dude, now that I think of it, I don't think anyone ever told me anything.
No,
Me
me
too.
neither.
I got
My
one of
hands
those
just
books
happened.
that had like 3 girls on it, and they like the bikini and the towel.
me
Yeah,
too.
I got that. And my mom made me read it.
That book fucking traumatized me though.
Uh-huh.
Really?
Yeah, because it was like, oh, at this age, like your boobs are gonna look like this, and then once you reach this age, like they're gonna grow in. I'm like a fucking barely a B cup, you know what I mean? So my tits never grew in, and I was
Me.
like,
fully me.
You're like, what's wrong with
what's
me?
yeah, really? I started getting scared. I was like, what
This
the
book
fuck?
seems to be in Ireland.
Yeah.
And that's
Fucking the author.
And that's the crazy thing, that it's like they know that not everybody's body grows the same way,
Right.
so why the fuck would they put some shit like that?
Right.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think
set
in
the
that
standard
book
for
there was
everybody.
it just talks about tampons. I don't think it
Yeah,
ever
it's-
talked about pads.
And my mom told me I wasn't allowed to use tampons.
Me too. My mom, even to this day, she gets very upset if I'm wearing.
Which
any
makes no
of that.
sense.
I remember like
know.
soon after I got my period, I went to the beach because it's summertime, and then I was like, I was with a different aunt. My mom has 3 brothers, and all the 3 of their wives, dude, like they're like my best friends. Like, dude, like I fucking love them all. So I was with a different aunt, and I was like, like I can't get in the water, like I'm on my period. She was like, put a tampon on, and I was like, but my mom said I can't wear that, like it's gonna pop my cherry. And she was like, that's not true. Don't fucking listen to your mom. She was like, here, I'm gonna show you. And I was like,
So, is your
okay,
mom
bitch.
Okay,
And
period.
I was like, okay, bitch. So we went to the bathroom, dude. I propped my leg up on the toilet. She pushed it in for me because I didn't know what the fuck
What
to
a
do.
real
I was
one.
scared.
What a real one.
And my dad was like, babe, like I got you. She's like, put your leg up. Like I'm gonna push it in. She's like, just tell me if it hurts. She's like, but I know how to do it right. So like you should be fine. And dude, yeah, it went in like smooth. I didn't feel no pain. I put my leg down. She was like, sit down. Do you feel? And she did like the test where you
Yeah,
sit
yeah,
and make
yeah.
sure you don't feel it. And I sat and I didn't feel nothing. And I was like, ooh, period.
Period.
So I went to the water. I got,
I had a beach day.
no, but shout out to her. You know, she watches the show. Shout out to you.
Yes, hey queen.
Yeah, dude. And then this other time in 5th grade, dude, one of my friends got her period in 5th grade. Dude.
That's so young.
Yeah, but you know what? It's actually very common. And she was crying in class, and we were talking to my teacher at the time. She had like, I remember her saying she was like gonna hit menopause, so she didn't get her period anymore. So she was just trying to explain to her like what a period was, but the weird thing was that like it was like towards the end of the day, so she was like letting the whole class just roam around like we weren't doing anything. So everybody was standing like talking to their friends, and we were just like at the front like by her desk, like she was crying, we're like talking about it. And like at one point like she did say like the friend, her name was Daisy, I still remember. But she's like, don't tell anybody, like I don't want anybody to know, you know, obviously. So we're like, yeah, you know, we won't. And then, dude, I don't know what the fuck. I had a brain fart. I wasn't thinking. Somebody came up to the group and was like, why are you crying? But, like, in a bitchy way, you know, like, you know. And I was like, shut the fuck up. She got her period, you know. But it's like I was trying to defend her, but like, I didn't think, you know, like, she wanted like to be kept a secret. And I said it a little too loud. And when I said that, dude, like the whole fucking class just turned and looked. And then she, like when she noticed that everybody turned and looked, she cried even harder. She like let out like a harder like weep, and I was like, oh.
That's
my God.
so sad.
I felt terrible because that truly was not my intention. Like, but I fucked up, you know,
Yeah.
metí la
Yeah.
pata.
Brain
and I was
fart.
like, I'm so sorry, girl. Like, and I apologize, but obviously she didn't give a fuck about my apology. Like, this bitch was
you.
crying.
Fuck you.
I know, but I'll never forget that. It was a core memory for me. And
I feel bad for little girls that get it that early. I got
I
mine when I was
know.
like 13. Mine was cute because I'm very hairy because I'm Latina. And I had like a little unibrow. I was like 13 and I was like, Mom, I'm going to 8th grade. Like, fucking get me my eyebrows done.
Right.
And so we went to get my eyebrows done and I got them waxed and like they look so good. And I was like, ooh, like I'm such a bad bitch right now.
Period.
And then I get home and I like pee and I literally like got my period. And I was like, I'm a woman.
So
like
I am a new bitch.
Yeah. I got my eyebrows done and now I have my period. Like I'm really fucking growing
Eighth
up
grade
right
ain't
now.
ready for me. Like,
Yes! I had just watched Ned's Classified School Survival Guide. I was
God,
ready.
she was ready.
And I was like, and I told my mom and everyone went fucking crazy. But again, no one said anything. They were just like, put this on. And then I was like, okay. And I hate that it's like a weird thing to like, you know, I feel like it was always weird for me to ask for a pad.
right.
Yeah, like I'd be like, hey, do you have a pad?
oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah, I'd be like,
yeah.
do you have a pad? Pass it, like, put it in my bag or whatever.
Dude, or like, did your parents like ever buy you like those like secret bags where like they were like they look like pencil bags?
Oh, yeah,
they're,
the
like,
little
for your
ones?
pads?
Yeah.
Like my mom, I remember my mom, like we went to the store one time and the pads actually came with them. I don't know if you guys ever
wow.
remember.
No, I haven't seen those.
There were like some boxes of like pads were like for teens, and then like a part of the package was like a cute little bag to hide it. And I remember my mom was like, "Here, like let's get this. Like you go ahead." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank God!" Like, I hate taking my pad out at school. So I remember like. That wasn't like an issue anymore. Like my friends would pass and I'd be like, "Here, use my pencil bag." Like I got like me thinking like I'd be like slit. My pad was in there.
I hate that. Now I'm like,
Yeah, bitch.
Fucking
Dude,
needs one.
one time I went to the movies and I dropped my bag and like my shit flew out and a pad flew out. And dude, I don't give a fuck. Like I was just like, but dude, I remember the look on this guy's face when he saw my pad. He looked like so like no
chill
way.
out.
And I was like, bro,
Literally.
I'm
It's
a
not
bitch
that
right now.
deep.
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, I'm not pregnant. It's a time to
Yeah.
celebrate.
I don't feel like mine
literally.
was memorable. I just kind of like I got it.
happened.
I remember running some errand and I was like, "Mom, I got my period." But I don't really recall like what. I know it was like a bad thing that was happening. So the bad thing kind of clashed, I guess, like my period thing happening. So I don't know. After that, just got my period. My mom did the same thing, and that was that. I never actually got the talk as well. Like the sit down, like
I
this is what
hate
your
that.
period
I want to
is.
give every little girl the talk. Just be
Right.
like, it's okay, because it's so
okay to be
uncomfortable.
girl.
Like
It's
even
a period.
cramps, I was like, girl, my fucking stomach hurts, and my mom was like, oh yeah, that happens, and I'm like,
Now I don't
you
give a
didn't-
fuck.
tell me.
yeah, you didn't think to tell me this information. You know what I mean? So I feel bad.
Now
Poor
when I get
little
my period-
girls.
Now when I get my period, I don't give a fuck. I be telling everybody, I'm on my period, get the fuck back. Step back because I'm about to fucking bite your head off.
But you know what? It says a lot about guys when you can talk about periods and they're not like fucking weird about it.
Yeah.
I love that.
Or it's not like uncomfortable for them.
Yeah,
It's,
like grown up
Yeah.
shit. Like, get my fucking period, dude.
Have you guys ever had sex on your period? Patreon topic.
Patreon!
Patreon topic. My nerves. That's what I'm telling you. Everything that I hated about men, like this, my first boyfriend was it. Like he was just hit all those.
He
little
set the
things.
standard,
he
that
set the
low ass
standard.
bar.
And you know what?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm actually super fucking grateful because I left that relationship with like I have like a list of shit I'm not gonna put up with.
Period. Standards.
He would also be the type to be like, oh, you can't wear that. Change that. Like literally,
Oh,
dude.
no.
He had like my whole fucking dad. Like I remember one time, even like I went out and I posted a story. I was in a van with my literally a bunch of girls, and we were twerking and just fucking around with your homegirls, you know. And I posted that video on Snap, and he like immediately called me like, delete that shit. Like, why are you like a whore on Snap? Like you want guys to see you shaking your ass. Like why you post some shit like
What
that?
the
Dude, that was
fuck?
like literally the most toxic relationship I've ever been in, and it was my first one, dude.
Aw.
So literally, like I'm grateful though because like I said. I left that relationship with like a list of shit that I'm like, I'm not putting up with this, I'm not putting up
Yeah.
with this, I'm not putting up with this, I'm not putting up with none of this bullshit, dude. And I didn't. And I'm happy because I know a
Period.
lot of girls
That's
tend to
good.
say that they're not gonna put up with it, but they do. Bitch, not I.
Not me though. Y'all
No,
stay
y'all stay
safe.
safe.
Right?
Not
Not me
me.
though.
I was
Y'all
like,
be easy out there.
Yeah,
Like-
literally. Dude, I didn't.
No,
Fuck
my
all that.
ex called me a lesbian because I made new girlfriends.
What?
He's like, "Are you a lesbian?" I'm like,
What? That
Yeah.
doesn't even make
Dude,
sense.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Come on.
"It's
What,
bad."
what do you guys feel is like the minimum, like the bare minimum that a man should give?
The bare minimum.
Yeah, like what do you like? Because I feel like there's differences for everyone.
What for you? Because I need to get an idea.
Like I know I mentioned that I always expect a guy to open my door.
Oh, okay.
Not like if they're in the car and they're like they're driving and I'm coming in, like I don't expect them to get out and like open it like that. But like if we're going into like a door, like a room or something, like I need you to open my door.
That okay. I don't know why when you said that I thought like car door when we talked about it earlier. I just thought of a car door always.
If we're walking to the car together,
exactly.
Yes,
I agree.
I don't really mind. I don't care personally if a guy opens my door for a car. But yes, like if we're like entering a building, yeah, for sure. That's different. Like I'll always open my fucking door. But if it's like a car, I really don't care.
My boyfriend does it, so it's sweet. But like I just now it's like I'm like okay,
you set the standard.
Yeah, I'm so used to it, and like I feel like my cousin who's like literally like my brother, like he's very much like that. He opens the door for me and like for everyone. Yeah. So like that's why I'm like I know it's like the bare minimum technically is different for like everyone else. You know what I mean?
I can definitely relate with opening the door. Just the bare minimum of having manners, not only with me but with others.
Like please and thank you.
If we're going out to dinner, can I get that? Yeah. Like no, please, thank you. That type of shit. I'm like yes.
Okay.
That type of
That's
stuff.
true. That's really sweet. I hadn't thought of that. What about you?
I think the bare minimum for me was just like, I of course agree what you guys are saying, but I think that's like even beyond the bare minimum. Like I think I expect you to have manners. Like that's not even me asking for the bare minimum. That's like something as a character
that you look
that
for.
You should hold like no matter what. I think my bare minimum for a man would just have to be like you just have to be you have to know how to like communicate well or just like at least be a little bit like emotionally available to like talk about things. Just don't be insecure is like another one.
I feel like
open and honest communication.
Yeah, I feel like insecurity is a big one because I know a lot of people don't like they find it unattractive.
No, for sure.
What about you?
I can't think right now.
No. But you know what you said was true. I feel like it might be a bare minimum, like being kind to others, because I feel like I've met a lot of girls that are like, oh, I like my man to be mean and only nice to me. Like,
No,
bitch, that's ugly.
That's ugly.
That's really ugly because it just shows what kind of person he is like to others.
Yeah,
exactly.
So it says a lot.
Yeah, and it's like, and honestly, me personally, like I've been like when I've been in a relationship and I see like my man interacting like cool with everyone, getting along with everyone, and being like friendly and dope and cool. Like it makes me happy. Like that's my man. Like everybody likes him. Everybody's getting along with him. Like he's making everybody laugh. Like that makes me fucking proud.
Nobody wants to be with a guy that's just like in the corner, is not fucking with anybody except for the person he came with.
And then also you have to think about it like, how are you gonna bring them around your friends and then bring them around your family? Like I would never. If he's like that with my friends, bitch, I'm not bringing you around my family.
Yeah, exactly.
Bye. You can sit by the door.
That's true. Are you guys the kind of people where like you get mad and everybody knows you're mad?
Fuck yeah, I told you guys like last time. You'll know when I'm fucking pissed. But I've been trying to.
No.
I don't think I'm the type like everybody will know. Like if you don't know me, you won't know. But if you know me, you're my friend, you'll know.
Because you know how like those couples like they'll fight and then they like don't talk to anyone.
Oh fuck
no.
Yeah, no. Lie. That was kind of me. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, Michelle Queenie.
We're changing.
No, she's going.
We're changing. Like I told you
she's
guys.
Acknowledging and learning.
I am evolving. I haven't been in a relationship for a long time for the same reason, because I feel like I'm definitely still working on myself.
Right. And that's important. I think somebody asked us, like, what should I do, like, now that I'm single and, like, trying to get back? Like, how do I get better? How do I get to, like, a better me? And I definitely think that's some good advice. Like, people always tend to think, like, what can I do to get someone, or like to feel like at a point where I could date again. I think like instead of doing that, I think you can ask yourself, what can you do to better yourself as a person for yourself? Like generally, like just think about what triggered you in that relationship, what would upset you in that relationship, what would bother you, what would make you mad, like what frustrated you, like things like that. And don't even like put the attention on them, like just ask yourself why it triggered you as a person. Like for example, like one thing in my past relationship that triggered me that I just couldn't seem to let go was the fact that his gifts, I know it's gonna sound like superficial, but like I'll explain why. Like the way he would give me gifts, like it wasn't like my standard. Like I was like a super like gift giver, that's like my love language, so I would go like above and beyond for gifts and do the most like elaborate shit. And his gifts, he would give me more like meaningful gifts, like things like he would make, you know, or like not things that he would buy, you know, like he was more like a creative. Yeah, and I would be like, cool, you know, like nice, like you made it, but like
what else?
Like like you know, like it just.
Is there an
And
necklace
I would
behind
always,
it?
my real
always,
gift?
yeah, I would always be upset, you know, and I would always be upset with him. And I would cry, like I would get angry, like, you know, not necessarily always like to his face, but like alone, because I would be, because I would feel like a bitch, like, oh, I would think like I'm superficial, like I'm materialistic. How can I bring this up to him? Like he's gonna like, you know, say all these things. But when I really thought about it, like my parents were super dry with me, like they were not affectionate with me, like they were just like their way of showing me love was like providing for me and like giving me gifts on special occasions. So for me, that was like my standard of, that's how I knew that they loved me. That's how I knew that to receive love. So that's why I felt like deep down like I was like triggered by it, not because he wasn't doing it right, but because that in my brain was considered love. So when I did that introspection while I was alone and single, I was able to come to the realization, it's like, you know what, actually gifts are not what matters to me. It's like feeling like they know me, feeling like they know what I like, that they pay attention to me, like the little things, like that's really like what was going on within me, that like I felt triggered, you know. So it's like just like do that kind of introspection, and I feel like when you do that, like every area, you'll come back like a better person, and you know, for your next relationship. So I feel like that's something
definitely can write off of that, because when I got out of my relationship, I'm like, I had to think, was I upset because of the things he did to me, or because that's what bothered me? If that makes any sense. So you have to do a lot of self-healing, self-reflection. You got to really think like, if your relationship was shit, not saying every relationship is, why was it shit? Was it me? Was it him? Was it us? And honestly, it's just a lot of thought process, self-healing. That's a lot of things that I've been doing, and I've been single for like almost 2 years. So honestly, I'm just every day, you know, I'm trying to push myself to be better, because I know, looking back, the shit that I did, I'm like, what the fuck was I fucking thinking? Like, I definitely wasn't in the right state of mind. I was fucking pissed. And the triggers within me would be like even more triggered, if that makes any sense, being in the relationship, because that's how bad it was.
You're very reactive, like judgmental. And it's crazy because even like a couple like weeks, like a month or two after the relationship, you can't see it. This is some type of shit that you really need to spend a long period of time alone for it to surface. Like if you're the type to like hop into another relationship immediately, you're not gonna get that introspection. Like you really,
I was like that.
Yeah, you really need to sit like for a long time and really think about it. Because like I remember my last relationship, I would literally think like I'm perfect, like there's nothing wrong with me, like I'm doing everything right, you know, and not like not in a way that's like I knew that it didn't fuck up. Like I just felt like the major reasons why my relationship didn't work out was because of that person, you know. I felt like I didn't contribute to that.
You're a bigger common denominator than I am in this situation.
Exactly. So it's like, and this man even like went to therapy and like did the most to like try to make the relationship work, and in my mind I remember being like, yeah, but like that's what you need to do, you know. But I would never actually stop and look at, could I possibly be doing something that's like hurting the relationship? And it wasn't until months, maybe even over a year, that we were like not together, that I was like, oh shit, like I actually did a bunch of shit that did not help. For one, I interrupted him a lot when he would come to me to be open and vulnerable about things that I did that hurt him and bothered him. I would immediately get defensive. But you this. Oh, but you that. Oh, but no. Oh, but I didn't mean that like that. Oh, but I would always but. I never held space for him to like be open and like actually share things, because I would feel shame. I would feel guilt. You know, it would hurt, because in honesty, it was never my intention to hurt him. But just because that wasn't my intention doesn't mean that that's what I did. You know, so I did do that, and I talked over him a lot, and I interrupted him a lot, and it's like, how can you get somewhere productive if you can't even let someone speak? Exactly. And that did not click in my head. In my mind at the time, I'm like, I was trying to, not in a way save myself, but in my brain, what I would think at the time was, oh, he's upset because of this, but I didn't mean it like that. So let me explain. Let me explain how it's not like that, you know? Let me explain where I'm coming from, so he won't think that I did it in that way. But that wasn't the point. The point wasn't that I didn't mean it that way. The point is that that's how I came across, and that's how he took it, and it hurt him. And at that point, I should have just been like, I'm sorry, you know? You're right. it did come off that way, and I'm sorry it made you feel like that. And if I would have done that, I feel like genuinely we probably would have even been together now. But that was one of the huge things that in that moment I couldn't see. So that's why, like, girls out there, like, if you guys are going through a breakup, if you guys are going through something hard and you're alone right now and you feel like you want to do something to better yourself moving forward, definitely introspect. Definitely look within. Question what made you mad, what made you sad, what triggered you, and ask yourself, like, those deeper questions.
Yeah.
Should you have to get high even? Trust me, if you even get high and, like, set the intention, like, I do that sometimes where I'm getting fit and it's like, okay, like, I'm going to set the intention today. Like, maybe this happened in my life and, like, it really upset me. Like, I'm going to get high and, like, I really want to dive deep in that time that happened. Like, you know, universe, God, whoever you believe in, like, speak to me. Like, what could it have been? Or, like, what trigger in my, like, childhood caused me to feel this way now, react this way now to, like, certain scenarios, dude. And it every single time, like, I will get the answer. And I'm always, like, able to, like, kind of heal through that and, like, let it go. That's why I love getting high and, like, introspecting and, like, setting the intention to do that shit. Because I feel like a lot of me healing my traumas and what I've gone through in relationships and just, like, in general with, like, my parents and everything, I've been able to come to those, like, realizations because I've gotten high and, like, I've just set that intention. Like, even the other day, my son slapped me and he was playing around. Like, obviously, like, I know kids twos are at the age where they're, like, exploring with their body, like, what the limits, like, what they're pushing limits, you know, what can they do, what can't they do, what can they get away with. And sometimes when my son's playing, like, he'll slap. And obviously it's a limit I've been trying to set with him, you know, like, keep your hands to yourself, like, that hurts, you know, things like that. But this slap really caught me off guard. And when I tell you that my body went from, like, 0 to 100 real quick, like, the triggered, like, the way that I wanted to, like, hit him and yell in that moment, I didn't. But damn, when I tell you that I felt so fucking triggered. Thank God his dad was there. So, you know, he was able to kind of, like, pull him away because he obviously saw that it caused, like, a deep reaction in me. And I really had to sit with that and be like, okay, like, why am I feeling like this? Like, what's going on? Because he slapped me before and I've never felt like that, at least. And I came to the realization that when I was young and my mom was getting me in trouble and I would be, like, explaining myself or whatever I did wrong, she would cut me off with the slap, dude. Like, she wouldn't even let me finish my sentence. She wouldn't even let me, like, she would just immediately just slap the shit out of me. So I came to the realization, like, that's what was going on in that moment. I felt triggered because immediately, like, little me came up and she was like upset that I was, like, getting slapped all over again. And, you know, I was able to take the attention away from my son and the anger towards him, like, dissolved, you know. And then that I used that moment to kind of, like, hold myself and hug myself and speak to that little me and say, you know what, like, you're safe right now, you're okay, you know, you're not being abused, like, you're okay, you know. And, like, I had, like, a whole conversation with myself and it's, like, those moments. And I feel like that's why parenting is so hard. And I try to, like, advocate for, like, talk to women or young girls that I know that are pregnant, because I know that parenting triggers you so much in that way, you know. And it's like, you have no idea what's the road that's coming ahead with, like, what having a kid, like, brings up for you, things that you have had hidden for so long, things that you've suppressed, things that you don't want to think about anymore. And having
I feel
a
like
kid,
it's easy for new or young parents to kind of almost revert back to how their parents treated them and the trauma that, you know, their parents went to. And, like, you know, like, when you're a new parent, you don't know how to handle these situations, you kind of, like, unconsciously revert back to what you were shown. And you don't even realize sometimes what you're doing until you can have those moments of like deeper introspection. We can be like, okay, like, you know what I'm doing isn't right, and if I want to break this cycle, I have to be conscious in these moments to fix that behavior.
Exactly, dude. And I do that because I obviously, like, thinking about myself, but also thinking about the kind of human I want to bring up, you know. I don't want him to be growing up with, like, all this anger and just rebelliousness, like, just, like, all these things because I pass down, like, my shit to him. And so I try to be very conscious of, like, those moments where I'm, like, fucking triggered, because it happens often, you know. Obviously I'm human at the end of the day. The shit that I've adopted to stay safe, you know, obviously it's, like, my ego and it's trying to protect me. So, like, I try not to shame and guilt myself when things like this happen, where, like, sometimes I want to yell at him, sometimes I want to hit him. And I used to feel very shameful about that. Like, damn, like, I don't want to be like my parents. But when you realize that you've adopted that because, you know, it's like what you've been taught and what you've had to learn, like, to protect yourself, like, you kind of give compassion to yourself. You're like, okay, like, you know, this isn't really who you are, but now we have to work with it because it's a part of you. You know, you can't just be a perfect human. You're never going to be perfect. Like, these parts are always going to be a part of you, so you just have to work with them. And the way that I've found is by just loving them when they come up. And obviously, like, the thoughts come up where it's like, oh, like, you shouldn't be thinking that, I shouldn't be doing that, like, you know, the shame, the guilt. It's like, no, like, I know I shouldn't, but it's what's coming up, so it's okay, you know. And like, just kind of like having a conversation with myself. It's like I told you guys the other day, like, really coming to a realization that you're your own person too, so like, you're never alone. It's like, it's easier to have a conversation with yourself, you know. But yeah, y'all, like, it's crazy.
Damn, girl, you went off.
Maybe
I love that.
dude, it's
good,
crazy.
Piggybacking off what you were saying about just like healing and things like that, I feel what you were saying about how you felt you would get like defensive in those situations where your partner would try to like bring up things that he didn't like. I feel like as an unhealed person, it's so hard to have someone hold a mirror up to your face and tell you to look into that mirror and see the reflection. Because imagine every day you're passing that reflection every day and you think, okay, I know how I look. I see it every day. I don't have to stare at myself in the mirror because I get a glance at myself every day. But when someone really sits you down and puts a mirror in front of you and it's like, I'm not trying to be mean, but really look at like what you're doing and how you're acting and look at your own reflection, and you'll be able to like notice and just pick up on a lot of things, things that you like, things that you want to change. And like, as speaking from someone who's just like freshly out of a relationship, wasn't necessarily like my best relationship, but how you talked about how you just always thought it was him, and just like you kind of place the blame. It's easier to place the blame on somebody else rather than yourself. And I realized, though, I still, to this day, I won't necessarily take full accountability for everything or like why things happen the way that they happen. But I think I'm at a place now, even though it's been just a short period of time, to where I can really like look back and be like, okay, you know what, there were situations that I behaved that I wish I didn't behave, or there's things that I've said that I wish I didn't say, there's things that I've done that I wish I didn't do. And just being able to forgive yourself and to be kind and to not only acknowledge the fact that like, hey, you fucked up, but then to also validate the fact that like, you know what, it's okay. And things happen, and like, that doesn't make you a bad person, but now it's time to learn and it's time to grow.
You did the best that you could at the time with the knowledge that you had.
But even doing that is such a difficult thing. At least for me, like whenever I like fuck up or something, I'll really be like, over and over again, and in my head I'll be like, I can't believe you did that. Like, I cannot believe you did. Like, I have those conversations, but they're more of like, you're so fucking dumb. Like, how could you have done that? So it's like being able to be like, okay, this is okay. Maybe it's not okay that you reacted like that, but you already did. Let's just move on and grow from it. Like, it's such a difficult task.
You can't change it. You just have to like accept it and like be okay with what happened.
And oh my God. And that's one of my things that I'm really trying this year to work on, where I don't, like you said, shame myself. Because I'll really be like, I should have known. But now I'm like, okay, I should have, but I didn't. So let's just calm down and see.
It's a process. I feel like the first step is definitely awareness, and you have it. And dude, don't think that I got to this point. Like, dude, it's trial and error. And and even now with the awareness that I have, I don't fuck up as often as I used to, but I still do, because I'm human, you know? And that's literally, it's always going to be a part of me. I know that I'm never going to react in the best way. But always like knowing, having that compassion and love for your mistakes, it's like literally, I feel like what gets me by. Because like, I feel like now moving forward, like, I'm knowing that I'm going to fuck up, but I also know that I've cultivated like some love and compassion for the humanness in me, that I'm okay. I know that I can fuck up because I know I'm not going to beat myself up anymore. You know? But then like, also, like I said, like with time, you're able to kind of catch yourself before you go off, you know, like, you catch yourself before you're going to say that dumb thing or do that dumb thing. And it's just like you said earlier, it's practice. It's really all fucking practice.
Yeah, definitely.
You know? It takes time to put a habit in motion.
I recently told my friend, literally a few days ago, I was like, because she was like, oh, like, I'm just not, like, I don't feel secure or whatever. And I was like, okay, well, like, what is it? Like, what is it that you don't like? And it's so, I mean, I don't even remember what she said, but I know, like, trying to be like, well, what is that I'm not liking about myself? And then like looking at that and then being like, okay, these are the steps I need to take to be different or be better. And I told her, I was like, do that. Like, try to think about, okay, now what are the steps I need to take to be better? But do it in a way that's authentic to yourself. So you're not like, well, this really isn't me. Like, grow in a way that's true to yourself and genuine to yourself. Because I feel like a lot of times, at least for me, when I was trying to be like, okay, I don't like who I am, let me try and change it, I would try to be something that I was just not really fitting in with. And I was like, this isn't really, I'm still not liking this person, and I'm already making the changes, like what's going on? And it was more of because I was trying to do things that I knew I already didn't like. And I was forcing myself because I was like, oh, this person's doing it and they look great. Like, they look so happy. So I feel like genuinely trying to find yourself and your genuine self. Like, this is who I am, and this is how I, maybe not where I want to be, but this is how I'm gonna get there. Oh man,
I think one of the hardest things about just like existing and like being alive and like being around other people is just like really removing yourself from other people's like satiations. I don't know how to pronounce that word. Like, other people's like ideas that they try to like satiate upon you, like to really like remove yourself and to be like, okay, like I'm actually my own person. And like once you realize that you have a lot more control than you actually do, like your life can do like a complete 360. And it's like these great people that you might look up to, or like these people that have traits that you find admirable, or like that you want to be like this person. And it's like these people aren't good people every day. And like how we talked about, like it's an everyday thing. And like you don't just finally get to that end goal when you're like 15, like, you know what, I am a great person now and I do this good every single day. It's like, no, like for the rest of our lives, like that's what you should try to be like
strive for. Yeah,
you're
definitely.
never gonna ever meet that goal, but there's not necessarily like an end goal for you to like meet.
They say, like there's not like you don't ever stop growing. Like it's like a journey for the rest of your life. Like you're never gonna get to a point where you're like, oh, like I'm changed, like I'm good now, I can stop. Like no, because as soon as you heal something or you work through something, some other shit's gonna come up. But you know what? I feel like what gives me comfort through knowing that, because sometimes I'm like, fuck, man, why can't I just fucking like reach some destination? I'm fucking there, you know, some fucking nirvana. But I just try to tell myself, you know what, like I like to imagine myself like I'm a little ball of fucking light, a little soul in this fucking meat suit that's just been conditioned by the world and my family. But at the end of the day, like I'm none of that. Like I'm just a little ball of light, and I'm here to have a fucking human experience, and none of it, like the good and the bad, really matters. Like it's just the fucking motions. Like I'm just here to fucking experience and learn. The good, fucking dope. Like hell yeah, we all want to be in the good always, but even the bad, there's good in that. Like there's learning, there's growing, and that's really sweet. I'm meant to go through the bad too. Like I'm never gonna be able to avoid the bad. So even in the times that you fuck up and you're like, damn, like you're shameful and you're guiltful and you're like, why'd I do this? Why'd I do that? Like it's good to just know, like, dude, you're meant to do it. You're meant to fuck up in that way. You're meant to do that. Like that's a fucking human experience. Like you can't avoid that ever. That's
so crazy that how you said like this is what gives you comfort. Because what gives me comfort is that I'm like, okay, here's this person that I don't really like, and then here's me, and I don't really like myself, but I'm with myself all the time. So might as well try to be someone that me personally I'll like. Like I, like you said, like I'm gonna look at these traits that the person that I do like has, and I'll look at this person that I like their traits, and I'm gonna try to apply them to myself so I can be the person that I like. Kind of like when they're like, oh, like be the friend that you would like to have. Like same thing. Like be the love that you would like to have. Oh my God, you guys are so sweet, saying the cutest things.
I love y'all. But you know what? I think that's definitely a good note to end the show on. Thank you everybody for tuning in with us today. Thank you for joining us. Olivia, you were literally fucking amazing. Literally fucking love you. I already know we're gonna have you on again. I hope you guys enjoyed having her on just as much as we did.
I had so much fun.
Catch her in her next movie, Gemma Chan.
Right. Season 2 coming soon.
Go ahead. Thank you guys so much. We will see you guys next week. Go ahead and say your goodbyes, ladies.
My name is Vanessa Cazarez, and y'all can find me at bloomingvc.vic on Instagram and Twitter, and bloomingvc on TikTok.
Michelle Calderon. Oh, you motherfuckers saying I say it wrong. You can find me at exo.tanahara on Twitter and Instagram, and Lala Bonjour on TikTok.
And I'm Stephanie Ramierez. You can find me at Steph Scott Milk on anything and everything.
And I'm Olivia Flores. You can find me on Instagram at Libby, Li3B6Ys. And yeah.
Yes. Bye, besties.
Bye, besties.
Oh my God, you're like so
So good. I genuinely
Thank
fucked
you.
with your vibe.
Yes,
everything.
you guys.
So dope.
You have hella good vibes.
You're
Ooh,
coming
I'm
back again.
Ooh, I'm glad
girl.
I was able to do that because sometimes like, when I get nervous, like I feel like I'll trip over my words.
Oh, no.
you
Yo, you killed
Oh, you
it.
did.
So good.